when I suggested this to the network, knowing that there was some hesitation about the way I was bringing people into the world. They were more interested in seeing an episode where we saw Echo's engagements and really understood the structure of the show as it would be week to week, even though it would change up some. And I get that, and I respect it. I don't have a problem with this. In fact, it was an exciting challenge to sort of go backwards and see. You're sort of always doing that anyway, because we were breaking 9 stories at once. So it was an interesting challenge to go back and do it, and it felt organic, it felt right, which I can tell you right now the other thing kind of didn't. And so I just, I don't want to sugarcoat it. I went in and did some things that were not necessarily right for the network, that I'm shifting around a little bit, but, and that's on me. That's, you have to know your audience, and in that case it was them. I'm not going to change anything, nor was I ever asked to change anything about the premise, about the cast, about the heart of the show, about the things we're trying to say. It was just about how do we get people into the world. The world will be there, and then I get to play.
And I get to wear my leather pants.
Also, I had made the vital mistake of not giving Tahmoh any shirtless scenes. That has been rectified.
Hi guys. With how fantastic all of your other comic books are going, do you see a future for Dollhouse in comic books?
I actually don't. Because the premise doesn't involve something. It's very interesting to see Eliza become all these different people. I don't know how interesting that would be drawn, because it's really about her energy and what she's doing with her body language. It's not, it's not like she's changing outfits. It's there are no spaceships, there are no vampires, and some people are not excited because of that. But I don't think it's a comic book. I realize that CSI has a comic book. I mean, I guess at some point you just get one. but for me, this really belongs where it is, which is on TV, and specifically on Fox.
This question's also for Joss. Are you aware of the extensive academic interpretations of your work? And what do you think about them?
I make English writing from words good. Many thoughts are having, and to present with ideas. So why wouldn't people study me? Man, I'm some kind of genius. You know what? I gotta tell you, it's a huge honor to have in your lifetime people discussing your work and thinking about it as hard as you did, and sometimes even harder than you did when you made it. And I don't mean overthinking it, because let's face it, anything that's popular is worthy of study, because one would want to know why, one would want to know what it has to do with our culture. Long ago have given up the idea that studying pop culture is nonsense, but to have people really dissect it, and to know that there are things in there I desperately wanted them to talk about, and to know that they will find things in the text that I didn't know were there, that are there. This has happened to me since, the first year of Buffy. That's extraordinarily gratifying. I feel very lucky that that's going on.
I was wondering if there are going to be supplemental webisodes for Dollhouse available for viewers while they're waiting for the next one?
Yes. We're going to rock some webisodes, and we're still figuring out, we have different ideas for structures. I think some of them will be one-shots, some of them we may actually do little arcs in. We're absolutely going to supplement with some webisodes, and we're sort of still trying to break the first stories, and then we'll figure out how they fit in and around them, but we're having some fun with that, so we will definitely be feeding the beast.
No.
We will make dozens and dozens of dollars.
understated and inverted quality that reminds me a lot of some 1930s, 1940s movies. I wonder if you've been influenced by any of those.
Absolutely. I think nobody this side of the Coen brothers likes to steal from those things more than I do. That kind of, rapid fire patois that's really sort of just, it's either sounds strange because it did then or because it does now, but it's fascinating, and it's, the love of language in those old movies is just unparalleled, and I adore them. I'm a huge buff of everything pre-50s. So yes, those were definitely a huge influence. And actually, I kind of want to go back to another question really quickly, the one about the academic stuff, because we were talking about the writers, and as you know, I've got Liz Craft and Sarah Fain running my show with me, which is a huge deal. And I've got Steve DeKnight and Tim Minear in the house. Plus, two of the writers of Dr. Horrible. And just a really, really great room, amazing crew, and all of the work that's being studied is shows that I did. And I think if I have one real talent, it's for finding other people's real talent. So a lot of the things that are being studied aren't mine. They belong to the Jane Espensons, the Marty Knoxons, all the great writers that I've been privileged with. The idea is to create something, not just in the art, but in the process that is bigger than the sum of its parts, and definitely bigger than me. So it's not just me that's out there. It's all of those guys, and I just want to thank them. And yes, if every person in the process doesn't feel like they're a part of it and isn't bringing something to the party that's new, then it's not worth doing. It can't be about one person. It has to be about the piece, and that's, without them, I'm nothing. Without Shona Turpin, we got no costumes. Without all the great people who make it, so I just want to say that it ain't all about me, even though it is to me.
You're the best cruise ship director ever.
I'm Captain Steubing with slightly more hair.